hit record now. The meeting is being recorded. If for any purpose or reason you would want to get hold of the recording, feel free to contact us, because after this meeting, we would be able to make it available. Okay, thanks again for everyone to joining in. Okay, the agenda for today, we'll have a brief introduction of what ACW, which is Africa Code Week, is all about, and we'll also talk about computational thinking. Then we'll have a practical session on Scratch, and then we'll have a session wrap up where we can take questions. We'll have questions and answers. But again, as we go through this whole presentation, feel free to engage. Engagement is really, really welcome, because anything to do with computers, it only really works if you are hands-on and you are doing something. Otherwise, then you won't pick up the skills. Maybe just to give a chance for everyone. I see here there's someone called admin. Can you maybe unmute yourself and just introduce, just for us to know who's participating with us? That will help me very greatly as I do the presentation. Hello, admin, are you there? Okay, maybe I can go to Evululuko Secondary School. Can you guys just say hi? Hi, guys.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Who am I speaking to? Evululuko?
Hello?
Yes, can you just maybe
Yes,
say,
can you?
Yes, who am I speaking to from Evululuko?
You are speaking to Circus team.
Great. And how many learners do you have there with you?
How many are you? Okay, I have 15 learners here.
Okay, great.
Hello?
Well, yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Yeah, I have 15 learners here.
Great, great. Thank you so much for joining us, guys, from Evululuko. Hi, everybody from Evululuko. Please feel free to ask any questions if you do have some.
Okay.
Awesome, awesome. And I see a Mrs. Ipinge. Hello, Miss Ipinge. Okay, maybe Miss Ipinge is still joining us. Who do I see again? I see a Jay Amutanga logged in as well. Can you maybe say hi?
Yes, Loise, hi. I don't have any learners with me. I will be conducting the training tomorrow, so I'm just familiarizing myself.
Great. Okay. What school are you going to be joining with tomorrow?
I am not sure yet which schools I'll be joining,
okay,
but I think it will be communicated with me by Ina. Yes.
Okay. Great.
All right. Okay.
Awesome. And then I have Oikango Combined School. Can you guys say hi?
Hello, Anita.
Hi. How are you?
Very fine. How about yourself and everybody?
Great, great. And you have how many learners with you?
I have 11, varies from grade 7 to 9.
Awesome. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Oikango Combined School. Lovely to have you. Please feel free to engage with us as we do the presentation.
Okay.
Great. And then there is Ondjora Combined School, I believe. Hello, Ondjora. Okay, then I will go to Noshisho. Oh, Noshisho is still joining. Okay, but welcome everybody. I will then just begin. Okay. Yeah, as I've mentioned, Africa Code Week is just the largest digital literacy initiative by SAP, and our aim really is to create young opportunities for young Africans to start coding for free. We want teachers to be trained on digital learning curriculum across the continent. So far, we have engaged around 3.85 million young people and 39,000 teachers throughout Africa since the initiative started. And this supports sustainable development goals. I don't know if kids are taught about sustainable development goals. So there are the organizations such as United Nations, they have goals that countries would follow to help sustainable development in different countries. And so this also falls part of that. And the mission of Africa Code Week, it says that it takes an empowered village to raise a child in a digital age. And that is really, really true. As Africans, we raise our children in villages and everyone takes part in raising their child, but we do need now to be able to raise children in the digital age as well. We are all about togetherness. We cannot do this alone. So if we work together, we'll be able to accomplish so much. And we are saying that there should not be any child left behind. So anyone who wants to code or learn digital software skills, they should be able to have access to that. Okay, so the program was launched in 2015 and it is running on a yearly basis. This year, we also had an African Code Challenge where kids all over Africa can be able to compete and create various games using Scratch. So that is something that as you as a learner right now, if you are learning the Scratch skills, perhaps next year you would also be able to partake in some of our competitions that we'll be hosting with the skills that you are going to learn and develop over time. Okay. I think we have said quite a bit on Africa Code Week, so we can skip this page. But really, we do know that technology, digital skills can help change a lot of people's lives. In terms of our classroom guidelines, even today or when you are engaging with other learners in the classroom, we always want to make sure that there is gender balanced groups. We want collaboration, equality, respect. So let's respect one another. We are all equal. And let's work together to create great solutions with coding, especially programming, especially. You would need other inputs from other people because then creating something always require inputs from other people. If one person has a certain specific skill, another person will have another certain specific skill, and if we bring our skills together, we'll be able to create great solutions. Okay, we want this place to be a safe environment. If you don't know how to use a mouse, just speak up. If you don't know how to use any basic computer or skills, let us know, because this is a place where we are all growing. We all don't know everything. So this is a safe place. Please do speak up if you need to. Let's be active listeners. So your full mind and body, can it please all be here? And in terms of coding, it's also good to assign roles to one another so that one person is doing something and another person is doing something. And can we not have stereotypical roles where boys only do this, girls only do that? So things like that. We really want to have non-stereotypical roles and group dynamics, and always taking turns, so that if I'm speaking, then I'm speaking, and then someone else can also take a turn, so all of us can be able to contribute. Okay, so our session for today will be two-step training session. One would be on computational thinking. The other one will be let's practice, let's get our hands dirty with Scratch. I will be dealing with the first part, computational thinking. Then I'll hand over to my partner, David, who will be doing the Scratch practice part. Okay. In essence, we just want you to understand, is there anyone who can tell me what is software, what is software in general, or what is a computer program, just in their own words? Hello? Can I maybe have a learner to say something? So what do you understand about software? If a person tells you software or they tell you a computer program, does anyone know? Can give me an answer?
Yeah, Oikango want to try?
Okay.
The programs and other operating information used by.
Sorry, I can't hear the. Hello? Okay. Oikango.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just, can everyone please mute your mic while Oikango Okay. I think,
Yes, can we buy it?
Yes, please. Oikango, go ahead.
The programs and other operating information used by a computer.
Great. Yeah, programs and other operating systems used by a computer.
Yes, that's what she said.
Awesome. It's a great answer. That's true. So software is basically just programs that are used by computers. That is so true. So thank you so much for that. Looks like you guys do have an idea, and we are not going to start from 0, 0. But if you don't know anything also, it's okay. But like what she said, a computer program, or sometimes it's called software, is just, it's essentially with a computer is a dumb instrument, right? But it's very, very powerful if it has the right master, or the person who can control it. And all the programs or the operating systems that you see on a computer, they are software, piece of software, but if you go even deeper, they are just instructions, right? So any software that you see there is just instructions that were developed by a developer or a coder who then gave those instructions to tell the computer what to do, okay? And that's what we are introducing to you, is that can we learn how to speak to computers, how to create these instructions so the computer does what we want it to do. And then it's a very powerful tool if we know how to control it, okay? So the driving force behind a computer, so without a program, the computer won't run. So it needs that software, okay? I think I've already spoken about that. Okay, and what is programming? So programming is the process of writing those instructions. Now it's the language that we speak to computer. Why learn to program? Develops logic and problem solving skills. It improves attention to details, and it's also really lots and lots of fun. Okay, so I was speaking briefly a little bit about languages. So most of us, we have our vernacular languages. We have Oshiwambo, Shiherero, Damara. We have all those various languages. A computer also speaks a language. So for you to be able to tell it, go do what, you need to know how to talk to it. So a computer speaks in a language called binaries. It only sees zeros and ones, but we don't really see zeros and ones very easy. So that's why we don't talk to the computer directly. We usually write programs like this. What's this? Puatuvanga Lab 1. Please, can you just keep your mic muted, please? Thank you. Okay, so we're saying that for us to connect to the computer and tell it what to do, we need programs. So there are various programming or coding programs that helps us to connect or to understand how to tell them what to do. They eventually create these zeros and ones, which are now connected to the computer. Okay. Please, can we mute our mics and put to our Bangle 5? Can you mute your mic when you are logging in? I believe you are logging in various computers. As you log in, can you please mute the mics? Because every single time you log in and it's unmuted, there is noise coming. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So programming is just us speaking to the computer, and we should understand the languages at which we speak to the computer. Okay, there are other various commonly programming languages around. So there is some, these ones are just the common ones: C++, Java, Python, Scratch, Broccoli, PHP, JavaScript. Scratch is what we are going to be learning today, and Scratch is more visual. The rest, and Broccoli, Scratch and Broccoli are more visual programming languages. The rest are more written code, like you are writing a sentence, and thus they're a little bit difficult, but you can learn them. Everyone can learn how to code. But we are going to start with Scratch because it's more visual. And then as you learn Scratch, you can learn other programs as well. Okay. And just to introduce computational thinking. So computational thinking really is just an ability. Let me see whose mic is not muted. Puatuvanga. Great. Okay, so computational thinking is just an ability for you or for all of us for our thoughts to be logical and to be in a structured way. The thing about a computer, because it's just a tool, the way it reads or it communicates is it reads line by line, and that helps us now. So when we are coding, we always have to think step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So when you are dealing with computational thinking or you are trying to connect to the computer, you also need to learn to think step 1, step 2, step 3. So it really, in terms of computational thinking, you are learning how to think logically, and you are learning how to think in a structured way. It's a really good way for you to also learn how to solve problems efficiently, logically, and creatively. And computational thinking is generally comprised of 4 things. There's one that we call decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction, and algorithm design. Okay, I'll just go briefly through each one of them. And if anyone has questions in regard to this, please do let me know. Okay, so this decomposition is just saying break something that's bigger. Like if you have a big problem to solve, it's better for you to break it into smaller problems, and then eventually you are able to break it into big ones. For me personally, the biggest thing I remember when I was young, I used to pound mahangu. I don't know if a lot of people have vambos here, but when you pound mahangu, I used to pound when I was young for making ontaku, and I always used to get left behind when we pound with the other young kids in the village. So my aunt gave me like advice that instead of putting the whole full, so that I'm pounding a big chunk of mahangu at the same time, I should pound smaller chunks so that I finish quickly, and then I'll be able to catch up with everyone, which was really, really a great idea, because I would put in small and then I just pound quick, when it's done, and I put in another one. So I was able to finish with everyone. But it's the same here with computers. So if you want to do something big and you feel like, oh, I can't do this, it's too big for me, it's better for you to break it down into small pieces, and then you are able to just put all those pieces solutions together. They gave an instance here where they said, if you, let's say, want to go to the grocery store, you can also break this, just you going to the grocery store or to, like, Pick and Pay or ShopRite to go buy food, etc. If your mom asks you to go and do the grocery shopping, then you also want to think, okay, how do I solve this problem? The first one, maybe you want to know, okay, which ShopRite or Pick and Pay are you going to go to? Okay, what are you exactly going to buy? Maybe you want to list all the things that you're going to buy down. And then you have to decide, okay, what time am I going? Am I going after school? Am I going on the weekend? Okay, and then how will I get there? Do I take a taxi, or is there someone driving? Or how much will I need? So how much will I need in total? And those things, if you answer them all correctly, you are able to successfully go to the grocery store and be able to do the chore that your mom requested you to do. And these things we do on a daily basis. It's just that we don't realize that our mind already kind of computes or calculates those things on our behalf on the background. when a person says go and do the shopping, you already are deciding these things in your mind. It's just that you do them so fast, you don't see that that's what you're doing. But when you have bigger problems, this is a great way to solve big problems if you can break them down into smaller ones. And then there's one thing called pattern recognition. So pattern recognition is you finding similarities or trends or patterns. And this one just means that if something happens all the time, so for example, things like seasons, winter, summer, Bamboland is really hot right now. So if you have solved how to live in Obamboland when it's really hot, you have found a solution for that. Okay, maybe I should always have a fan, or maybe I should know where the swimming pool is, the closest swimming pool is, so I can always go swimming. Then you don't have to be every year you are figuring out, it's hot. How do I solve my problem? You already know how to solve your problem because you've already figured it out once before. You just apply that same solution every summer. When summer comes, you already know what to do. Okay. One of the other examples was here, like you can see, for instance, it says if in football, really they do that a lot. So if you want to be able to beat the other team, you need to study how the other players are. You need to know who's their best player and how do they usually play. Maybe this other player is left-footed. This is how you tackle him. And once you find a solution for that, you always apply that same solution. Okay. Pattern recognition is very important in coding because you'll find a lot of things that you need to just reuse the code instead of recreating that code to solve that specific problem. Okay, there's also what we call abstraction, and abstraction just says that you want to focus on what's important and ignore anything else that's not. And this is really great if to solve a lot of problems, because there are some solutions that can suit a lot of scenarios as long as you forget about the unnecessary things. So like here they say, if you have been asked to draw a cat, there are so many types of cats with different colors, with different patterns, whatnot. But you all know that the most important thing to have on an image of a cat so that anyone can know that it's a cat, it should have the ears, those ears that looks like triangles, and maybe it has the hair that's like a nostril, the one that's in a circle, and then you should definitely the tail, the fur, the hair that's always out, and then the eyes of the cat. So if you have those characteristics available, anyone, when you draw that picture, they will know that it's a cat. It doesn't matter how good it is. And this is really important because sometimes you just need to know, okay, this is what, then I can solve this. Yeah. And it happens everywhere around us. So if you think of all certain circumstances around you, you can be able to see abstraction where it can help you there. And then the last thing is algorithm design. So algorithm design basically just is a way to solve a problem step by step, right? So it says here, the best example is if someone stops you to ask for direction to like the nearest store, you need to give them clear step-by-step instruction. You say, okay, you go right, then you turn left, and then like 1 meter after that you reach. So that's how you will generally give direction. And it's the same with algorithm design. And algorithm design just means that the code that you're going to be creating, and we will see here, when David is going to go through the code, he will have, let's say, one code, and then the next thing, and then the next thing up until the code is completed. And that's also algorithm. Yeah. Okay, so that is computational thinking in a nutshell. And if you are able to think abstractly, if you are able to decompose your problems, if you are able to create a good algorithms, so all those things that if you put them together, then you can be able to really create great software programs. Okay, and just to say, digital skills, they can help you build your confidence because you're creating something that's coming to life. It's very fun and interactive, and it develops your mind because you're always analyzing and solving problems and thinking logically. It provides you future opportunities because there is quite a high demand for computational skills globally. There's a lot of companies and jobs available for people who have great computational skills. And it's a competitive advantage in understanding how the digital work around us. Everywhere, if you look in your house, if you look at televisions, you look at remotes, you look at phones, you look at microwaves, almost everything nowadays is using technology or it needs digital. It's made out of some sort of digital component. Okay, so it's here. There are just a few codes. I know most of us all know about Facebook. The CEO or the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he's always saying that okay, he's always telling his friends or your younger siblings who are going through college that the number one piece of advice he can give to anyone is that everyone should learn how to program. And Richard Branson is a Virgin Group founder. There's also a big company in the world saying whether you are fighting climate change or you are going to space, everything that we are doing nowadays, it requires a computer to do. So, and there's not enough people who know how to code. Okay. I'm pretty sure everyone maybe knows Steve Jobs. If you don't, you can search him up. It's saying that computational learning how to code, it teaches you how to think. Steve Jobs is the creator of Apple. So if you know all the iPhones and the iMacs, those ones, Steve Jobs had a huge part in creating that. And then there's Bill Gates. If most computers have Microsoft and Windows, that's all in Bill Gates. There he says it stretches your mind. So when you are coding, you are stretching your mind. It helps you to think better, create ways of think about helpful things that can help a lot of domains. Okay, and YouTube, I'm pretty sure a lot of kids right now, you're watching videos on YouTube. The CEO of YouTube, he said it makes kids feel empowered and creative and confident. It gives you confidence skill when you can create something and you start doing something because you made it do it. It's so it gives you that confidence. So we're really excited for you to start and to try coding. Okay. And remember, coding is a close curricular subject, so it helps you with all your other subjects that you are doing. Whether you are doing chemistry, there is always programs that can be created for you to look at those. Let's say, for example, the carbon dioxide formulas. To look at those formulas, you can use a computer to do that. To do statistics or do languages, you can learn languages using a phone nowadays, applications, physics, social studies, biology, technology itself, even mathematics. Almost every subject you, as a learner that you're doing right now, coding can be implemented there. Okay, so just before we start getting to the practice, remember there are other programming languages, but we are introducing you to Scratch because it's a visual one and it's quite simple to learn for everyone. Anyone from even the age of 8, 9 can start using Scratch. So just to let you know that coding is not that hard. Anyone can learn how to code. You just need to be willing and wanting to do it. Are there any questions so far?
No.
What? Okay. Okay, so I'll just introduce Scratch a little bit, and then I'll hand over to David, who will then take us through the practical. So Scratch is a very powerful language. It's created by MIT, which is Massachusetts. It's a American university. And it's the one that created Scratch. It's quite an engineering type of university. Mostly they just do engineering programs, including software engineering. And it's very visual. You can see here, but you'll be able to see it practically as we are using it if you haven't seen it before. Yeah, and it's the programs that you are doing, you are able to just create using blocks, and you are able to see what's happening on this side, right? Okay, so I will just then hand over my screen to my partner, David. David, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. Then you can share. Let me just see if, okay, all participants can share. Great. Yes, the screen is yours, David.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Yes, Nita, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, that's good. Afternoon, everyone. Yeah, my name is David. I'll take you through Scratch. Now we are doing the practical part. Let's start. Okay, for this tool, you can do it online, and if you are not connected or in the remote area where the network is not good, you can also able to download the application, the offline, that you need to download, then you install it into your computer. Like now, I'm online, but I still have the application also in my computer installed. In case I'm not connected, I can still code. Okay, for today, I'm going to use the online one. What you need to do, you just go to the Scratch website. Then once you come there, you can able to start creating or joining. In case you want to always save your games or your application that you are creating, the best thing is to sign in. And for you to sign in, you need to have a Google account. So that next time when you come, once you join in, you can find all the project that you are working on. But if you don't sign in to Scratch, then you just start creating, then means when you are done, everything is being lost. And again, on the offline application, if you come here, you can still save. If you come on the file here, you can still save your game, then you can continue later. Okay. Okay, since the network is too slow, let me just use the offline version. Okay, this is our application. If you check here on the left side, where we have the palettes, the codes that we are going to use, you find them under these groups. Like we have a motion, we have a look, a sound, and others. Like everything that has to do with the motion or the movement or the blocks, you find them under there. Once you click there, then this one will come out. Once you come to the loop, then it changes. You can also just scroll down here instead of selecting the groups here on your left side. And here in the middle, this one I can call it, it's a brain, where you need to put up the instruction for this sprite. And here on my right side, this where the result, according to the instruction that you give to your object, which is a cat here. Like now, if you touch your cat or you click on your brain, nothing will happen to your object. Because remember, we say an object need to be given instruction of what to do for it to move. Okay, like for now, this is our object. Here down here, you can see the properties of the object. You can name it here. You can hide it if you don't want to be showing. You can change the size. Let me say I want to make it 150. Let's see. If we change it to 150. Okay. Okay, sorry. You can change the size for your sprite and object. You can name it. Okay, in this case, let's give it the name cat. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me just use the online one. It seems like the offline is freezing. Okay, there is no difference between the offline and the online versions. It's just still the same. Here we have our codes on our left side, and we can have our brain here. Then we also have the screen where the output or the result depend to the instruction that we are going to give to our object, which is a cat. What I was trying with the offline version, I wanted to name our object. The default one is always sprite1, but for us, we want to name it cat. You just come there, you type the name of your object, and if you want to change the size for your sprite, then you can just come there. Like for now, I make it 150. Now, let's just take it back to the 100. Seems like it's too big. You can change the direction here, where you want your object to be facing. But for now, we can just keep it to 90. Okay. Then again here down, you can also see here, once you click on there, you can able to choose some extensions. You can make a real application with this tool, Scratch. You can also have a robot, then you connect it via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi direct. You can also able to do that. Okay, now we are going to give instruction to our object. Let's say we want our object to move 10 steps. You just come here, you put your pointer on top of the code that you want, then you move it into the brain of an object. Like for now, we say we want our cat to move 10 steps. For you to see the result, just click on the code that you have inserted in the brain of the cat. Can you see? Now our cat is moving once I place this. Okay. Let's say we want our cat to keep on moving forever instead of you every time coming here. Or we can say, instead of us coming in the brain of the cat, we want once we do a specific event, then the cat must move. Like for now, what we are going to try is that we want, once we click on the green flag, then our cat must move 10 steps. Okay, we just come back on our pirates here, then we come here where it says event. Because you want, once you do something, then something must happen. Okay, like for now, we are saying we want to click on the green flag, then our object must move 10 steps. Therefore, we are going to take out this code, then we put it on top. And remember, as we say algorithm, our instructions are being executed from the top to the bottom. Like now we are saying, once you click on this, then our object must move 10 steps. Okay, let's try it. You see, once I click on the green flag, then the object now is moving 10 steps. Now we are no more coming in the brain, but we put up an event that something must happen once we click on this one. You can also change it. You can either select, let me say this time you want to use a key on the keyboard. Like here it says when a space key placed on the keyboard, then the cat. Like for now, I'm placing the space button. I'm no more using the green flag. It's up to you. You can also assign like the letters A, B, or something. That's why normally the games that you download, you might find people using the arrows. Like the left one, you move on the left. Still, you can also use it in this tool. It's up to you. Okay. Now, let's say we want our object to say hello for 2 seconds. Then you just come here. Then we can choose this one, which says say hello. We can edit. To edit, you just click in the middle there, then you can type what you want. Okay. Say hello, my name is David. Okay. Then just, let me just click the space button. Okay. Once I click the space button on the keyboard, then it say, hello, my name is David for 2 seconds, then it move 2 steps. Okay, let's just change the steps. Maybe we can make it 100 and you can see the difference of us having 10 and 100. Okay, I'm going again. Okay, let me just change the space button to put up the green flag, since you can't see when I'm placing the space button. Okay, now I'm coming here because I have changed the space button. Once I click this, it say hello David, then it move. Can you see the step now has changed? When it was 10, it's only move in a short distance, but once now we change the steps to 100, the distance is different compared when it was 10. Okay, let's say now we want our cat to move forever, not just when we click the green flag. Okay, then we just come here, you select the control, then you find this, it's a condition, then we can put it. Remember this code, the one for move step, because we want it to be moving forever, we have to put it inside the conditions or the control, which is forever. Okay, let me just move my object, my sprite here, then I click on this. See, now it's disappearing. Because remember we say the computer is only doing according to the instruction given. Like for now, we only say it must move 100 steps, like forever. But we want maybe when it's reaching the edge, it must come back. Then we have to give instruction to it again. Okay, let's just go back to our codes. Then we can take these codes which say if on edge, it must come back. Okay, let's just put it inside here. Okay, the speed is too fast. Let's just take it to 10. Okay, let's start and see. You see, once you click on the green flag, then it say, hello, my name is David for 2 seconds. Then you start moving 10 steps forever. But now it's no more disappearing because we have set up instruction which says if on edge, it must come back. But now the problem, when it's coming back from the other side, it's upside down. But we don't want it to be like that. Still, you need to give an instructions. Okay, let's just stop it. Then you can set the rotation style to left, right. Okay, let's just test it. You see, now it's no more coming back upside down. Okay. As you see, the cat is just sliding instead of like the legs to be moving. Now what we are going to do, we want to see like the legs must be moving instead of just sliding. Now we have these codes which say next costume. If we put up this one, can you see now the legs are moving? And the reason behind that, if you check here where my mouse pointer is, we have code and we have costume. Like these objects normally come with these two. We have this one and the second one. The second one, can you see how the legs are? And the first one, the legs are like this. When we say next costume here, meaning it will move from this one, the first one, to the second one. Hello, are you together?
Yes, we're together.
Hello? Okay, that's fine. If I'm fast, let me know, please. Or if there's any question. Okay. You can also change for you to see it nicely. Let me say this one, we can even change the color. Okay, we can make it this color. Okay. Then now, once you come back here, then you start it. Say, hello, my name is David. Then now it's changing from the other one to the next costume. Okay, Nita, just a second. I need to get the charger.
Okay. Does anyone have questions up until this point? Do we have any children that are maybe behind a computer? Are you able to even just create, just make the cat do what it's doing right now? It's not our
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, screen is yours.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to show you on how to add a new sprite or a new object. If you just come here, then you put your pointer on there. Once you click on it, we have a lot of sprites within the tool itself. You can choose if you want a music, a sport, depend to you what you want. Like for me now, I'm going to add the ball. Once you click on the sprite, then it appear here. If you see now, we are under the blame where we are is for the ball. That's why it's empty. Meaning we didn't put up instruction for the ball. That's why here in the brain for the ball, it's empty. But if you come back to the cat, then here we have some codes. And let me say we want to have the same codes on the other sprite. To copy, what you do, you just move your pointer on top of the codes that you want to copy to the other sprite. Then you drag, then you move them on top of the other sprite. Like for us now, it's a basketball. Then you read. Then once we come here, you can see now we have those codes here. And now if we start this, both the cat is saying hello and the ball, my name is David, because we have the same codes. Let's just stop. Then we change the code for the ball. Maybe here we just put, my name is Nita. Okay, let's just start our program and see. You see now the ball is saying my name is Nita. Then they start moving forever, 10 step, rotational is coming. Okay. For you, if you want to delete a sprite that you have added, you just select the sprite, then there's a trash icon here. You just come there, you click on it, then it will disappear. Okay. We also have a backdrops, which is a background. Like here, if you can see, we don't have anything at the background. For us to have something here, we come here where it says backdrop. Then you can choose the background that you want your application to have. I'll just choose any. Since the network is too slow, we can't wait for them to run. Okay, it's fine. Okay, we have all these backdrop. Okay, let me choose this one for the beach. Okay, can you see? Now our background has changed, or our backdrops. You can also take a picture even of your school, then you use it instead of using the picture within the application. And to do that, once you just come here, then you move on top here where it say upload. Then it will take you to your computer. Then you can upload the picture that you want. It's the same thing as a sprite. Maybe you want to use your image as a sprite. You can still do that instead of using only the sprite which came with the tool itself. Okay. Let's also add a sound. In this case, we want, once we click a green flag, then the cat say, hello, my name is David, then it gives some sound. Okay, we just come under sound, then we can choose like play sound. Then we put it after it say, hello, my name is David, then it gives the sound. Nita, can you hear the sound?
Yes, I can hear the sound.
Okay. See, yeah. You can also change the sound to anything. You can even record yourself, or you can put up the song. Still, again, if you come here on our menu here, we have code costume. You also have sound. You can able to do some changes to your sound. You can even upload or record yourself. You also have a lot of sounds within the application itself, which you can use. Okay. I hope everything up to now is clear.
Okay. Yeah, does anyone have questions for David right now? Are there any kids that are maybe behind a computer or something that can share their screen? It would be nice to see anyone already trying out. Yes, hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, if there's no question, let's just continue to the advanced things now. This was just the basic on how to move the code to the brain and where you see the result and how you do the changes to your object. Okay, for now, we are going to have two sprites and we are going to set up a score. Let me say I'm trying to create a game where we have two sprites, then once those two sprites touch each other, then the score must change. If we come to our code side here, you can see we have variables. And variables in programming, or when it's coming to computer, whenever you need to save something, therefore you need to create a room where you will be storing those information. And in programming, we call it a variable. Now, since we say we want to create a game where we have two sprites, one which is a cat and the other one which is a ball, and once they touch each other, then the score must increase. Okay, now we are going to create our variable. To do that, you just come where it say make a variable. Then this one, this window will pop up where you need to give your variable a name. I'm going to name my variable scores. Okay, then just click on OK. If you can see here on top now, we have a variable that we just created now. Okay, let me just add another sprite. I'll choose a ball. Okay, let's just copy this code. Then we come back here. And it's always important to be checking to which under sprite are you putting up the code. Because for in case, let me say you wanted to give instruction to the cat, but you just put them under or in the brain for the basketball. Then meaning when you start your application, your cat won't able to do that because the cat will only able to do things according to the instruction on its brain. Okay, it's always important to check here where my pointer is. Like for now, it's showing that we are under the cat sprite. But once you choose a basketball, then it can tell you that now you are under the basketball. You can also put up some instruction under the backdrop. If you want maybe your backdrop to be changing, you can also do that. That's why if you check here in the brain now, I have selected the backdrop. You can also put up some instruction under your backdrop. Okay, let's just come back to the ball. And to delete, you just put your pointer on top of the instruction, then you move it back. That's how you delete. Okay. Now we are saying once the green flag clicked, then our ball must move 10 steps, and if it reach on the edge, it must come back bounce. Yeah, and we also said the rotational end, it has to be changing from one costume to another. Okay, let's just start seeing. Okay. Okay, and we said what we want to create is a game where once a ball touched the cat, then the score must be affected. Now we are going to give instructions. Okay, we just come to our control, then you find there is if. It's like it's a condition. Now we are going to put up our condition inside here that if something happened, then something must change. Okay, as we said, we want if the ball touch the cat, then our variable which we name score must change. Okay, then I'm going to take this instruction which say if touching mouse pointer, then the score must change. Okay, we just come to our variable here. Then we say change because we want it to change. It's depend now. If you want it to change with 1, if you want it to change with 10, you can still change it here. Okay, I'm going to start this and see if the score is changing. Can anyone maybe tell me why is the score is not changing? Hello?
They are moving in the same direction.
Okay. Yeah, and the reason behind is that the instruction that we put up in the brain, it say if they touch, then that's the only time the score can increase or change by 1. But now as you are checking here on the result, the ball is just moving on top but not touching the cat. Okay, let's just change the direction for the ball. Then we start. But why still? It's not changing. But as you can see, the ball is touching the cat. Why is not changing? Hello?
It's moving vertically. That's why we are not touching.
Okay, let's just go through the codes or the instruction that we give to the ball. We say when the green flag click, then it must be moving forever. Yep. Then if on edge, it must bounce. We set our rotational style, then it has to change. But if you come here on the condition, it say if. Now we are under the ball. It say if the ball touch the what? The mouse pointer. It's not if the ball touch the cat. That's why our score is not changing. Because the instructions that we gave to the ball, it say this score or the variable that we created, it must only change when the pointer. Okay, now I'm going to start and try to touch the ball with the pointer. But it's still not changing. And the reason again is because the instruction that we gave here, it say it must change my variable. But remember our variable, we have named it scores. Okay, let's just change here. Then we put up score. Then we start again to see. Okay, still is not changing when the ball touch the cat, but once I move my pointer and try to touch the ball, is changing. It's because the instruction that we gave, it say once the ball touch the mouse pointer, then the score must change by 1. That's why once I move my pointer here, then the ball touch, then our score is changing because that's the instruction. But what we want is once the ball touch the cat, then the score must change, our variable. Therefore, we have to change it here in the condition. Then we put up here a cat, our object, our sprite one that we name cat. Okay, now let me just create our score. Now we are going to set our variable, then we put it at the beginning, meaning that always when we are starting our game, then the score have to be set up to 0. Okay, let's test it. Once I click here, as you can see now, we have 99. But once I click here, okay, let me just stop. Then move this one this side. Let me just move this one this side. Okay. Once I just click on the green flag, then the score need to change to 0. But why is not changing? It's just increasing. The reason is that, again, the instruction that we give here, it says set my variable to 0. But remember, we have named our variable to score. We have to change and put up score there. Okay, let's try it now. Now, once I click on here, it becomes 0. You see? This is the reason why we say the computer is dumb, can only do according to the instruction that were given to it. And these instructions are being executed from top to bottom. That's why when you click on the green flag, then the score need to change to 0, then it will start moving 10 steps forever. Then once the ball touch the cat, then the score will increase by 1. You can change if you want it to increase by 10. It's up to you. Depend to the instruction that you are giving. You can also set up some control, like maybe you want to be controlling your cat, like once you place the arrow on the right, it must move on the right side. once you press the arrow on the left, or once you press a certain key, you can still do that. Just come to the even, then take another code, then you can set the direction. You can even say change X by something. Then meaning once we start this program, then you press a space bar. Your ball must move 10. But let me put up negative. Put up 180. Now once I place to move that side, let's put the Y, X instead of, okay, we put up the 180 here. Okay, now once I press the space button, then it have to move on the Y-axis 180. If we put up the negative, meaning it have to move down. You see? Yeah, you can still control your sprite. Because remember, we say the sprite can only do things according to the instruction given to it. Okay. Nita, how many minutes do I still have?
No, I think you should be wrapping up.
Okay. Okay, like for this one, I was using the online tool. That's why I'm saying for the online tool, it's always good to sign in, so that whenever you close this browser, the next time you come, once you log in, then you're able to see your games or the application that you are doing. But if you are using the offline version still, you can just save it in the computer. Once you come, it's say file, then you can say save to your computer. Then it will take you to your computer memory. Then it's your choice to choose where you want to save it. Like for now, I'm going to save it on the desktop. I'll choose, then you give it a name. Let me say my first project. Then I save. Okay. Let me just come to new. Okay, let me say, now I want to open up the application that I saved. You just come to file, then you come where it say load from your computer. Then you go where you save your application. Like mine, I did save it on desktop. I come to the desktop, then I have to search the name that it was my first project. Okay, here it is. Then you just select it, then you open. Instead of always starting from scratch. You can still save your work, then you continue later. I think that's all I wanted to show you. If we had a lot of time, I could do a calculator within this tool application. But for now, I think everything was clear. Hello?
Okay, now thank you so much, David. Does anyone have any questions for David before he finishes, or maybe it's a question on what he's creating? Are there no questions?
We have. How did you save?
There is quite a bit of interference. If you have multiple computers or devices that are connected to Zoom at one time, it gives interference if they are in the same room.
Maybe they can post the question on the chat.
Yeah, you
Hello.
can. That's a good point. You can post your question on the chat and we'll be able to answer it. Okay. Puatuvanga Lebwande says we are muted. Okay, let me unmute you. You Leb1. I'm not sure. Okay, just let me see. Okay, you should be receiving something that's requesting you to be unmuted. So just accept that. Okay. Yeah, no, you guys, because you have too many computers in one room connected to the meeting, it's a bit hard to post, to say your questions with a voice. Maybe you can post them on the chat and I'll read them out.
Oikango, I have just one suggestion.
Yes, what's the suggestion, sir?
Love to see if we can get the step-by-step on how to create these, like maybe on slides or Word document or any other.
We can provide you the videos because I'm busy recording this session. Then we'll either upload them on YouTube and then we can just provide the links to that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, there is a question which says, what is the benefit of coding? There are so many benefits of coding, from thinking logically to be able to create a lot and lots of software programs. There are so many things in our Hello, sorry, Sarafina, do you want to say something?
Yeah.
There is a bit of echo there. Is there someone else close to you that is also tuned into the meeting? Sorry about that. I'll just reject this call. Okay, if there's a bit of echo or etc., and you can't pose your question using sound, feel free to put it on the chat. I'm just busy answering questions right now. Yes, there is Chazapi who's saying, what is the benefit of coding? So many benefits, from personal growth to all the way to creating very, very useful products in the market. The benefits are quite a lot. And in the fact that digital skills is becoming a skill that almost everyone should now have going forward. And okay, Puatuvanga Lebwan is saying, hey, can I be able to make my apps with that program? You can be able to make applications or games, yes, with the program itself. I have put up a link for questions in terms of what Scratch can do. But if you want to create, let's say, a mobile application that you put it on the App Store or something like that, then you need to use other coding programs. But feel free to load that. Let me just go to that link that I put up. So you can go to scratch.mit.edu info and frequently asked questions, and then you can just see the various functionalities that you can use Scratch for. But in terms of creating an application that you can put it up on App Store, for example, that every phone can be able to download and use, no, I don't think you can do that with Scratch. And then who else asked a question? How do you save the app? I think here you can say, how do you save the different projects? And David did go through saving the different projects. You can save them as files on your computer, or if you are signed in on the internet, then they are automatically saved. And every single time you sign in, all your projects will still be available for you to continue working on them. Puatuvanga Lab 5, did I answer your question, Maybe you can just note it down there on the chat if I've answered the question or not. Okay. Please do take note. Scratch is quite simple, very visual, and it's a best programming language to introduce anyone who's starting to code. And it's also good if you want to go back to the basics. But most of the programs that you see, let's say on the internet or things like that, are not created using Scratch. Broccoli would be a better maybe version that is similar to Scratch, but everything that you do on Scratch, it translates that to various coding languages like JavaScript or all the other coding languages that we have shown you. We have said they are quite popular. It translates your blocks into those codes. Then you're able now to download those codes and then create now normal, apps for your phone or things like that. So Broccoli does do that. Can you set, Evululuko is saying, can you set different variables for each sprite? Yes, you can. And then how do you set the variables for each sprite? Maybe David will just go through that. Then Lebuan Puatuvanga says, can you please repeat the answer? We are having connection problems. Okay, so I'm saying if you are if you are wanting to create, let's say, a mobile application, let's say like you wanted to create WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is a mobile application, right, that you can install on your phone, and you as a programmer can be able to create a mobile application, install it on App Store, and then everyone else can be able to download it. You can't do that with Scratch, but you can maybe go to Broccoli. Broccoli is a little bit like Scratch. It has the interface, but then it also translates your block codes to real code, to written code, because most applications use written code, which you can then be able to put up later on a mobile applications like App Store or any other places where you can download applications for the phone. Okay, I hope you did get the answer this time. Yambeko says, okay. Yambeko did also give in the coding knowledge allows students to better understand the world. Also, coding improves creativity, problem solving, persistence, and collaboration. And that is so true. If you see many applications that are really, really great, YouTube, Google search, Facebook, all those applications were created through collaboration, not by one person. Okay, between Scratch and C++, which one would you recommend? I would say it depends on your at what level. Scratch is good for you when you are starting out, or for you to help you visualize what you are doing. C++ is a proper coding language. You can do more with it, but if you remember, it doesn't have any visual. You have to know, to know that when you say this Scratch does this, it translates to something else. Scratch is more for introduction to coding and for you to understand things visually, but it's not a full programming language that can be used to create powerful systems that you see in the world today. So you can't really compare them. They serve different purposes. Ending at age 19. Oh, okay. The attendance forms age. Okay, I think mainly because it was meant for the students. That's why. So for now, I think up until we change it, let me just see that form again. If what you mean. Yeah, because we had initially made it for learners and not for teachers. Okay, and that's why it's only set up until 19 right now. As a teacher, we are going to, I'll request for it to be changed. Then it may be where it says school name, just maybe if you choose let's say you're 19 or something like that, just maybe put there the school name that, okay, it's a teacher and my age is different or something. There where it says the school name, but I'll request that to be changed. And then apart from Scratch, what other coding languages we can use? I think in my presentation, I've kind of mentioned a few. Most, let's say, web development pages, the HTML, the JavaScript, the CSS, those ones, the PHPs are all languages for the internet. And then there's Java itself, there's C++. So there are lots and lots of other languages out there. Okay. Is there a file size limit for a project? I don't think so, but you can go and try it out. But I don't think so. I think the limit would be mainly based on your computer, how much RAM you have or how much space your computer has and how much capacity can it handle. I don't think the software itself has a limit. Okay. I don't see any other questions. Maybe David, can you just go? There's a question that says, can you set different variables for each sprite? And how do you set the variables for each sprite? Maybe you can just set variables for the sprites and show us how will that work?
Okay, let me just present again.
Yeah. There's a question from Evululuko. Can I extract a Scratch project? You want to extract it to what? To something else? Because I think
application, yeah.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. No, I think the best one you can use is Broccoli. Let me just put in a list for Broccoli, because Broccoli translates the blocks code into other languages, and then you can extract the codes in those languages.
Extract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can you see my screen? Hello?
No.
Okay.
No, we cannot see your screen. Okay, it's coming up now.
Okay. And now?
Yes, we can see your screen now.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Can you just start over from the beginning?
Okay, let me just delete this one. All right.
Yeah, you can just load a new page.
Okay.
Yeah, that will be fine.
Okay, just to create a variable, or you want us to try something?
I'm trying to set.
Hello?
Yes, they want to say if you have two sprites, can you have different variables for two sprites?
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just add another sprite. And this time we can take this one. Let's just move it. Okay, if you come here to create a variable, then you give it a name. Let me say scores. Then you choose for this sprite only. Can you see? Now we have like sprites, then that name for variable, the one that you gave. Meaning that everything that's falling under the cat will change, or will save these things under here. But if you put up the condition under the other variable, this under other object, then all those instructions, it won't affect the variable that you created, because that variable, you only set it up under a specific to be used by that specific object, which is a cat now in this case. Hello?
Yes, David?
Okay, did I answer your question? No.
Oh yeah, you did, David.
Okay.
All right. And I think there was another question of asking which other language you can use. We also have this AP Builder, but this one was mainly made for building up mobile application. It's the same as Scratch. It's a block thing also. And it's the same MIT app inventor, just the same company
Okay.
for the mobile application. Yeah, you can also use this one if you want to create something, and you can also like install it in your phone, then you test it. Just go to their website, you can get the information on how to use it. Or if you get stuck, then you can just contact us, then we can able to assist you. Just the same as Scratch. You just come wait, say build, yeah, then
Okay. Do you have any more questions?
No, thank you.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. There is information. My learners is only on 16. Okay. Yes, Nella. And everyone who's requesting for the age changes, I'll just request for that to be extended, or maybe for us to take that part and make it so that the person fills in the age instead of choosing. But I'll request us change. And as long as you fill it in, as long as the learners and everyone else fills it in during this week, then we are able to get everyone's details and create the certificates for everyone who attended. Yes, we will rectify that. Thank you so much. Okay. We'll just then present again. Screen. Okay, just to wrap up. Okay, we can also make the presentation that I'm having right now available for anyone, especially for the teachers, if you do want it, because it does have a lot of links, etc. So there are so many resources. I love the questions that you guys are asking in terms of different languages and etc. Feel free to just inquire with us, and if you have any further questions, etc. I'll also put my email there so that you can be able to contact us via email. That if in terms of introduction to Scratch, if you want to know more about Scratch and Scratch in the classroom, especially for the teacher, go to africacodeweek.org and resources. There are lots and lots of resources there. And then there's also different initiatives in terms of coding by different companies and organizations around Africa. You'll find some of these things here. And if you want to know more about computational thinking, there are quite a few YouTube video links that you can find in here as well. And if you there are a lot of people who are saying they don't have computers, etc. But there are various exercises that kids can go through to code without a computer. So these links also provide that. And we also have coding lesson plans for teachers who want to conduct more coding lessons for their learners. Okay, Google, if you go and find Google CS first, Google is really producing a lot and is doing a lot of innovative applications. So it's always a good thing to keep up with what they are doing. They are creating a lot of things. So these are some of the apps that they are doing currently. But Google CS first, if you go there, then you'll be able to see a lot of things in terms of computational thinking. And our community in terms of Africa Code Week is growing. We just want as many people engaged so that we collaborate and learn together, because the more we collaborate, the better things we can do and create. Okay. So I want to thank everyone for coming. We will change that age thing on the form, and then be able to send it to everyone as well. So if you have any questions, especially for the teachers, feel free to just let us know. But maybe in the next 20 minutes or so, we'll be able to change that link so that all the ages appear. So you can always check on it again in a couple of minutes. Yeah, unless there's any other questions, this is just maybe the final go. Are there any other questions before we say goodbye to everyone?
Louise, I have a request?
Okay.
Is it possible perhaps if we can have the cameras removed, and then we can have the kids by the camera so that we can take a snapshot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Camera remove so we can take a snapshot.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so if everyone can put their video on, which is something that I've
We want big smiles from the students, please.
Put our video on so they can take a snapshot.
Okay, can we have all the other schools as well? Great. I see Evululuko. Wave if you have to. Luis, please take snapshots as well if you can. David as well.
okay.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody. If are there any final questions before we say goodbye?
No. We're very thankful for the day. Have a blessed day.
Okay, you too. Thank you guys. Love meeting you. Hopefully we'll be engaging in the digital space. Look at our glowdom.com Africa Code Week. Please feel free to connect with us. We have a Facebook page as well, and we'll be able to engage at that level. We want to build a Namibian software industry. That's one of our aims. And we are hoping all of you guys will one day become software developers and okay. Bye everybody.